Planning a trip to Beijing. You think you've known Beijing very well. This is not an average travel guide showing you results from ChatGPT or Google search. I lived in Beijing for a full year, exploring every corner of the city. I'm going to give you the know-how to experience the city like a local, not just a tourist. I'm introducing my brand new rating system, the Panda Compass, to give you a systematic review of what's actually worth your time. We will cover the scenery, culture, history, food, modern attractions, and the convenience in this review. Make sure you stick around to the end. I'm giving away my personal itineraries for 1 day, 3 day, and 7 day trip. Ready to unlock the real Beijing? Let's go. Alright, let's start with the Panda Compass rating for Beijing. Since established as a capital during the Jin dynasty in 12th century, that's around the Second Crusade, Beijing has been the political and cultural heart of China for over 800 years. It's not just one of the most important cities. For centuries, it has been the most important city. For its overall score, I'm giving Beijing an S rating. That means, without hesitation, the #1 city for the first-time visitor to China. Now, let's break down why. First up, scenic beauty and landscapes. Beijing is not a city famous for pure, untouched nature like Guilin or Zhangjiajie. The beauty of Beijing is man-made, born from the immense human effort spent by emperors in the Ming and Qing dynasty. It's beauty on a scale that is hard to achieve by any other city in the world. I'm giving it a very strict A+ instead of an S-. The S rating is reserved for pure nature, but Beijing's combination of landscape and architecture is truly unique in the world. You can see the best scenery at the Summer Palace, Yiheyuan. This imperial garden, with its vast lake and hill, is stunning year-round. In winter, you can even go ice skating on the lake. The palace was designed to mimic the delicate scenery of southern China, but built with the limitless resource of the emperor. It deserves to be one of the 4 greatest classical gardens of China. The Great Wall might be the most iconic symbol of China. As a famous saying goes, you are not a hero until you climb the Great Wall. And when you see this incredible structure snaking over endless rolling hills, you'll understand why. For thousands of years, different dynasties built upon previous foundations. You have several options. Badaling is the most restored but the most crowded. Mutianyu is a bit further, but often provides a better experience with equally stunning views. Junyongguan is a fortress pass, not a typical wall section. Simatai, the wildest and the least restored section. The Great Wall has recently offered night tours, allowing you to see the wall light up against stars, a completely different and magic experience. Always check the latest official information to see if it's still available. And don't forget Fragrant Hills Park, Shangshan, which is famous for its red maple leaves in the autumn. For culture and history, Beijing is an undeniable, absolute S rating. It has dominated China's political and cultural landscape for the last 700 years. And because that history is so recent, unlike many other Asian capitals that were lost to time and war, architecture in Beijing is preserved incredibly well. Beyond that, Beijing developed its own civilian culture. The heart of the city is Tiananmen, the political center of both ancient and modern China. A warning: access to this area and all the surrounding sites requires reservations, involves very strict security checks. Tickets are super competitive, so book as early as possible. From there, you can visit the Forbidden City, Gugong, where 24 emperors lived. It's a place you must visit, but getting a ticket is like winning a war. A pro tip: if you fail to get a ticket, go to Jingshan Park right behind it. From the top of hill, you get a single best overview of the entire palace complex. If you time it for sunset, you can see the golden roofs shining, a truly beautiful sight. Another alternative is the Imperial Ancestor Temple, Taimiao, right next to the Forbidden City. This is where the emperors worshipped their ancestors. The architecture is identical to the Forbidden City. You can enter the building and it's far less crowded. Yuanmingyuan, the old summer palace. Do not confuse with Yiheyuan, the summer palace. While they have very similar names and are located near each other, Yuanmingyuan is not a pristine garden. It is a historical relic. It could have been even more beautiful than the summer palace. It was tragically looted and burned in 1860 during the Second Opium War. The story is complex, but what's left here are the scars of history, a memorial that's essential to understanding China. Next, a place you cannot miss: If you can only visit one museum in your entire life in China, it has to be the National Museum of China. This is where you can read the entire 5,000-year history of Chinese civilization under one roof. The best part is free. The worst part is free, which means making a reservation is incredibly difficult. But here is a game-changing hack, and I think everyone should take this option. Book a reservation for an explanation. This guarantees your entry ticket. The service costs around 100 yuan per person per hour, or 1,000 yuan per group. Yes, it's an extra cost, but it's absolutely worth it. Get an immersive history class from an expert and ensure you don't miss out. Disclaimer: I received no money from the National Museum for seeing this, although I wish I did. And one crucial tip, like most museums in China, it's closed on Mondays. Keep that in mind. Gongwangfu, Prince Gong's mansion. This was originally the home of He Shen, one of the most corrupt officials in Chinese history. His personal wealth was said to equal 15 years of the entire empire's revenue. That's over 20 billion US dollars today. You can imagine how fancy the place is. There are fun stories about how he hid his treasures all over the mansion, and one was just discovered in 2008 during a renovation. So, as you walk through, keep your eyes open. Maybe you will be the golden digger who finds the next one. The Temple of Heaven and Temple of Earth are the temples where the emperor performed rituals for the entire nation. The Confucius Temple and the Imperial College are the second largest Confucian temple complex in China. The philosophy of Confucius and the importance of education are so central to East Asian culture that this place feels as sacred as any religious site. By the way, can you guess where is the largest Confucius temple? Lama Temple, Yonghegong. This was once a home of a prince. After he became the emperor, this place was transformed into the most important Tibetan Buddhist temple in Beijing. There is a fun local legend here. Making a wish at this temple is said to be super effective, but often in an unexpected way. For example, if you wish for a lot of money next month, you might just get a generous layoff package. So, be careful what you wish for. The main tombs. There are 13 imperial tombs, but the only one is excavated and open to the public. This is actually because of a mistake. When the tomb was first opened, the technology wasn't ready to preserve the delicate silk and other relics, and many were damaged by exposure to the air. A valuable lesson was learned, not to proactively open anymore. You might think a modern city like Beijing has daily life that's no different from Shanghai or Tokyo, and in many ways, you're right. But if you know where to look, you can peel back the layers of modernity and find the soul of old Beijing. That soul lives in the Hutong. This is how local civilians lived for centuries. Walking through them is like stepping back in time. You will find this surprising mix of old and new. A hidden stylish coffee shop next to a home where a family has lived for generations. A trendy art boutique next to a corner store selling yogurt in old-fashioned ceramic jars. You will see lifelong residents sitting there and chatting with their neighbors. And don't be surprised if they strike up a conversation with you, even without shared language. This is my stereotype of Beijing. So where should you go for the best Hutong experience? There are many Hutong areas, but they offer very different experience. Let me break down the top 3 ones. If you only have time for one, my favorite area is Shichahai. You get a beautiful lake, the historic drum and bell towers, and one of the oldest Hutongs, Yandaixie, in one place. It feels like a real neighborhood, and the nightlife is fantastic. You can just grab a drink at the bar by the water and enjoy the view. Next, the one you will definitely hear about, Nanlu Guxiang. Should you go? Here's my honest take. Think of Nanlu Guxiang less as an authentic neighborhood, and more as a bustling pedestrian street. It has become extremely commercialized, and is packed with snack stores, souvenir shops, and huge crowds. It's fun for an hour if you want to try a bunch of different street food and enjoy a very lively tourist atmosphere, but it is not a peaceful or local experience. A great alternative is the Qianmen area. In my experience, it's much less crowded. It has some good restaurants nearby and is surrounded by many less famous but equally charming hutongs. Ultimately, my best advice is, while these areas are great starting points, the real magic is in self-discovery. Rent a bike, explore the hutongs near the Confucius Temple or Beihai Park, and just get lost. That's a part of the fun of the trip, and it's how you will find your own unforgettable Beijing story. Beyond just walking, what else can you do? You can rent a traditional rickshaw for a guided tour, which is a classic experience, especially around the Shanghai area. For a truly memorable experience, you can rent Hanfu, China's beautiful traditional clothing, to take some great photos. You will find rental shops clustered around the major historical sites, ready to dress you for the perfect picture. For a more immersive experience, look for restaurants that offer a complete package. You can dress in elaborate Hanfu and enjoy a dinner accompanied by traditional music and dance, recreating the experience of an ancient imperial banquet. But here is a crucial tip from China Travel Master. I categorize this as a cultural experience instead of a culinary one. Don't have high expectations for the food itself. And for a unique culture night out, you can visit a place like the Deyunshe. It is a tea house for xiangsheng. This is a traditional form of comedic dialogue, like Chinese talk show. Honestly, I'm not sure if you will get all of the jokes, even with a translator, but it's an authentic local experience. If you travel at the right time, you might catch the temple fair, Miaohui. This is where communities gather to enjoy traditional shows like dragon and lion dances, eat all kinds of street food, and buy crafts from local artisans. For food, I'm giving Beijing another S rating. You might hear young people in China joke that Beijing is a food desert, but they are completely wrong. Beijing has a unique food scene that is a combination of imperial court cuisine and the local civilian food. First, the icons. Peking duck. It's more than a duck. You take a soft pepper-seasoned pancake and wrap the perfect bite. A piece of crispy skin, some tender meat, scallions, cucumber, and a touch of sweet bean sauce. Combination of textures and flavors is unforgettable. Then you have mutton hot pot, 涮羊肉, where you gather around a simmering copper pot and switch pepper-thin slices of fresh lamb from Inner Mongolian, and then dip them in a rich sesame sauce. Barbecue on plate, 炙子烤肉. This is a Beijing Mongolian-style feast, where you grill mutton and beef on a large, sizzling iron plate with a mix of aromatic spices. And you can't live without trying bintang hulu. This is a skewer of wholesome fruits coated in crackling hard candy shell. Modern versions now use everything from strawberries to kiwis. Imperial desserts have become street food, such as rolling donkey, 驴打滚. Don't worry, there is no donkey involved. It's a soft, sticky rice cake rolled with sweet red bean and coated in soybean flour, giving it a dusty look, hence a funny name. But to truly understand Beijing's soul, you have to eat local civilian cuisine. 炸酱面, noodle topped with fried bean sauce. 炒肝, a thick stew of pork liver. 卤煮火烧, a pork intestine stew with flatbread. 爆肚, quick-boiled beef or lamb tripe, where different parts are served separately, offering an incredible journey of textures from tender to crisp. Just think about it makes me mouth water. I know offer isn't for everyone, but these dishes tell a story. This is the food that Beijing civilians could afford hundreds of years ago. Unfortunately, because they are so beloved today, they are getting more and more expensive. And finally, for the true food explorer, there is a final boss of Beijing snacks, 豆汁儿. It's fermented, stinky, sour mung bean milk. This is Beijing's most divisive flavor. I haven't even been brave enough to try it yet. If you have, please comment below and tell me what it was like. I will respect you as a true master. And here is a crucial tip for my Muslim viewers. Unlike southern China, where pork and lard are used heavily in many dishes, Beijing has a large number of excellent halal restaurants. You will find far more choices and variety here than in most other major Chinese cities. But even with its iconic dishes and diverse options, that's not the full reason I give Beijing an S rating for food. Here is a real secret that makes Beijing to a world-class culinary capital. Almost every province in China maintains a representative office in Beijing, and most of them run their own restaurants. Guess what they have? They bring their own local chefs and source their own local ingredients to serve the most authentic, high-quality food from their home region. That means you can literally take a culinary tour of the whole China, from fiery Sichuan dishes to delicate Cantonese seafood, without ever leaving Beijing. And what if you don't like Chinese food? Are you tired of KFC and McDonald's? You can bet that if a country has embassy in Beijing, you can almost certainly find an authentic restaurant serving its cuisine. So, let's summarize why Beijing gets an S rating for food. It has its own iconic and historic cuisine. It acts as a culinary embassy for every region in China. It offers a world of international options, and it caters wonderfully to travelers with different dietary and religious needs. For infrastructure and convenience, Beijing has 2 massive international airports and 29 metro lines that covers almost every corner of the city. You can easily find well-educated people speaking English. Thanks to the 2008 Olympics, many taxi drivers can speak simple English. It's a railway and airline hub of the entire country. So you think it's an S rating, right? No. I'm giving Beijing an S-. Why? 2 reasons. First, Beijing is famous for its massive traffic jams. Always check your map app before deciding how to travel during rush hour. And the second, as I mentioned, the intense reservation systems and the security checks add a layer of inconvenience. Finally, modern attractions. Beijing has beautiful Olympic venues like Bird's Nest Stadium and the Water Cube. Universal Studios also recently opened here, one of the only 3 outside the United States. The city has great shows, bars, and art districts. However, it's not famous for futuristic, Blade Runner-style skyline like Shanghai. For that reason, I'm giving it a solid S-. Okay, so how do you fit all of this into a trip? I've got some sample itineraries for you. A word of warning, Beijing's attractions are huge and they require a lot of walking. Plan according to your physical ability. For your base of operations, I recommend a hotel anywhere along Metro Line 2. It's a central loop line that connects to everything. The most requested is a one-day itinerary. Many friends come to Beijing for conferences, with only 1 day vacation before the flight back home. For this, I have 2 versions, Commando and Leisure. 1 day Commando. Before you go, charter a car to save your time and energy. 5:30 a.m. drive to Mutianyu Great Wall. 6:30 a.m. buy some breakfast, grab 2 boats to your car. 7:30 a.m. arrive at Mutianyu. This is early, hopefully beating the 2 buses. In the summer, this early start also helps you to avoid the worst of the heat. As you can imagine, there is no air conditioning on the Great Wall. Your tactical approach is cable car up, walk from Watchtower 14 down to 6. Then take the fun slideway back down. 9:30 a.m. drive back to the city and finger crossed for no traffic jam. 11 a.m. arrive at the Summer Palace. Here is a pro move. You're arriving just as the morning 2 groups are leaving for lunch. It's the hottest time of day, but the garden's trees offer more shade than the Forbidden City. I recommend hiking through the hill path first, then take the relaxing boat ride to rest your feet before the next challenge. This will take 3 to 4 hours. 1:30 p.m. Now we move to Shichahai area. You can take a quick rickshaw ride or a fast walk through Yandai Xiejie. If you are hungry, let's grab some snacks here. Nanogusha may have some options for food. 2:30 p.m. Arrive Donghuamen Gate for the Forbidden City. Entering from this gate can help you avoid the massive queues at the main southern entrance near Tiananmen. Please note, last entry for the Imperial Travel Exhibition is typically at 4 p.m. Now you can slow down and enjoy the Forbidden City. A quick walkthrough takes 2 to 3 hours. You will exit from North Gate and head directly across the street to Jingshan Park. Check the sunset time in advance, and make sure you are at the top of the hill. You can capture that iconic photo of the Forbidden City's golden roofs glowing in the sunset. 7 p.m. Mission complete. After the epic journey, drive to the Qianmen area for a well-deserved dinner. There are some restaurants where you can try Peking duck and other classic Beijing dishes, all in one place. If you somehow still have energy, the Qianmen and Shichahai areas are beautiful for the evening walk. Now I have to be honest, this itinerary is insane. It's very packed, just theoretically possible, and it covers all the major must-dos of Beijing in a single day. I haven't even tried this myself. This is a true test of endurance. You could easily burn over 1,000 calories. If you manage to follow this plan, please shoot a vlog and tell me how it feels. You will have earned the title of Travel Commando. The itinerary is more manageable if you remove one major tourist spot. 1 day later. Okay, my friend, maybe you're tired of a long business trip. Maybe you failed to get any reservations. Maybe this is a 1 day transit trip, but you still want to experience a sense of Beijing on your last day. Don't worry, I've got a perfect, stress-free plan for you. Here it is. In the morning, take a taxi or the metro to the Imperial Ancestral Temple, Taimiao. It's right next to the Forbidden City and shares its magnificent architecture, but it's far more peaceful and you can walk inside the building. You can spend 1 to 2 hours here. Lunchtime, head towards the famous Wang Fujing shopping street. On the ground level of the Beijing department store has a place called Heping Guoju. They've recreated an entire old Beijing street from the last century with fantastic photo opportunities and all kinds of traditional snacks. And everything is under air conditioning. Afternoon, let's escape the hustle and go to Beihai Park. In my opinion, it's just as beautiful as Summer Palace, but much more manageable. You can rent a paddle boat on the lake, or simply enjoy a peaceful walk around its historic temples and the white pagoda. Golden hour. Now for the iconic view. We will head up the hills in Jingshan Park for that perfect postcard-worthy overview of the Forbidden City as the sun begins to set. Evening, after Jingshan, grab a shared bike for a short, scenic ride to Yandai Xiejie, one of Beijing's oldest Hutong. Find a bar with a view of Shahai Lakes, and watch the light come on. For dinner, you can explore your favorite restaurant. The night is yours. And that's it. The best part of this itinerary, it requires minimal walking compared to a typical tourist day. You don't need to book a single thing in advance, and you can change your mind at any point. It's all about enjoying the beautiful, relaxed vibe of the city. 3-day Imperial Immersion. This is a perfect plan if you are on a business trip and can take an extra day vacation to truly explore the capital. Day 1. Foundations of the Empire. This is where we understand China's grand story. We will start at Temple of Heaven, where emperors prayed for a good harvest. Afternoon, immerse yourself in 5,000 years of history at the National Museum of China. Night, finish with a lively evening walk through the historic Qianmen Street, seeing old Beijing come to life with modern energy. Day 2, a day in the life of an emperor. In the morning, explore the beautiful buildings and vast Kunming Lake of the Summer Palace. Afternoon, enter the heart of imperial power at the Forbidden City, and cap it off with the iconic sunset view from Jingshan Park. Night, Zhuangnan Bell Tower, relax by the water and explore the vibrant hutongs of the Shanghai and Yandai Xiejie area. Perhaps stopping for a drink at the lakeside bar. Day 3, military and education. In the morning, let's take a trip to the legendary Mutianyu Great Wall and witness its awesome military structure and breathtaking scale. In the afternoon, we will return to the city to explore the Confucius Temple and the Imperial College, the center of learning for centuries. At night, for your final evening, dive into the bustling energy and endless food stores of Nanlong Guxiang for a fun dinner. But what if you have more time? If you have 7 days, you can go beyond just seeing the sights. You can truly immerse yourself in the history and culture of this incredible city. This is my 7-day Beijing master itinerary designed for the ultimate exploration. Day 1. The grand narrative of China. We begin our journey at the heart, understanding China's grand story. We will start at the Tiananmen Square, walk directly to the National Museum of China. Dedicate the rest of your day here. It's one of the world's largest museums, and you will need several hours to even scratch the surface of its 5,000 years of history. At night, let's take a walk through the historic Qianmen area, beautifully restored and bustling with shops and restaurants. Day 2. The Imperial Core. Today is dedicated to the power and the majesty of the Forbidden City. Spend a day exploring the entire imperial complex. Begin with 2 grand temples, the Imperial Ancestral Temple Taimiao and the Altar of Land and Grain, Shejitan. Afterwards, dedicate your day to the magnificent Forbidden City. Golden hour. Exit from the North Gate and climb hill in Jingshan Park for that iconic postcard-perfect sunset view over the palace golden roofs. At night, for a truly memorial evening, book a dinner show with Hanfu. You get to dress in beautiful traditional clothing and enjoy the banquet, recreating the appearance of ancient nobility. Day 3. Gardens of Splendor and Scars. This day offers a powerful and moving contrast between 2 of the world's famous imperial gardens. In the morning, witness the breathtaking beauty and perfectly preserved landscapes of the Summer Palace, Yiheyuan. Take a boat ride on Kunming Lake and explore the building on the hills. In the afternoon, travel to the nearby old Summer Palace, Yuanmingyuan. You will walk through the beautiful ruins of what was once considered the Gardens of Gardens before its destruction. Seeing both on the same day tells a profound story of China's history. At night, jump forward to the 21st century and see the modern architectural marvels, Bird's Nest Stadium and the World Cube, illuminated against the night sky. Day 4. Philosophy and Imperial Ritual. Today, we explore the spiritual and philosophical pillars that shaped Chinese civilization. In the morning, start your day at the Temple of Heaven, the imperial altar, where emperors perform sacred rites for the entire nation. In the afternoon, visit Lama Temple, Yonghegong, the most important Tibetan Buddhist temple in Beijing, followed by a trip to Confucius Temple and Imperial College, the historic center of Chinese scholarship for centuries. Day 5. The Dragon's Legacy. We witness the beginning and the end of Ming Dynasty's incredible power. In the morning, take a trip out to the legendary Mutianyue Great Wall, the ultimate symbol of imperial defense. In the afternoon, on your way back to the city, visit the Ming Tombs, the grand and final resting place of 13 Ming Dynasty emperors. It's a powerful and fitting historical pairing. In the night, after a day of history, unwind with some modern fun. Try your own escape or enjoy a show. Day 6. The soul of old Beijing. Today is all about getting lost in the charm of local life and the city's historic heart. In the morning, start the Prince Gong's mansion, Gongwangfu, and see how Qing Dynasty royalty lived. In the afternoon, enjoy a peaceful walk or a paddleboat ride in the beautiful Beihai Park. At night, dedicate your entire evening to the Shihai area. Wander through the ancient Hutong alleys of Yandai Xiejie. Find a bar with a view of lake, and just soak in the magical atmosphere of old Beijing. Day 7. Modern Cereals. For your final day, let's end with a blast of pure world-class entertainment. We will dedicate the entire day to the Universal Studios. It's a fantastic theme park with unique attractions, including Kung Fu Panda Land of awesomeness. I can't share every single detail in this one video. Which restaurant is best? The story behind the relics, the best Hutong to explore. We will cover this in future videos. I'm China Travel Master, helping you travel smarter in China. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel and save this video for your trip planning. And of course, if you have any questions, ask me in the comment below. Thanks for watching.